Hello, everyone. Welcome. I am Linda Israel, and thank you so very much for coming to my live stream here on YouTube. I greatly appreciate your support and for taking the time to come here and hang out. There are a few things that I want to go over before the actual live started, so this is a recording. First of all, I want to make sure that you like this video and subscribe, so give it a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate that. When you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell up in the corner. That way you'll get a notification whenever I upload a video. I have a broadcast post or even a live stream. If you're watching this video as a replay and you're on a computer, look for the little gear at the bottom. You can change the speed to speed it up. Or if you're on a mobile device, look for the little three dots and usually you can change the playback speed there. My live streams generally last about 2 hours. They can go as long as 3 hours. It kind of depends on what we're working on that day and how the feedback is in the chat. While you're watching, you earn junk bucks. So if you are here, in order to get those junk bucks accumulating, go ahead and type hello in the chat and my little bot, Junkie Joe, will see you and then you'll start accruing junk bucks. And you're wondering, well, what do I do with those junk bucks? Well, you can accumulate those, and once you have 2,000 of them, you can type exclamation point award and you can redeem them for a $10 off coupon to my shop. You can earn junk bucks while you're here and when you are chatting, as well as when you play the in-chat game. So look for those as they come up, and if you make a donation. For those of you that make a donation during my live stream, make sure that you go over to my website at lindaisrael.com, and if you haven't already done so, create a user account. When you make a donation during my live stream, basically you're buying a membership to my website and to the live stream. In my opinion, what we're doing is you're accumulating that money in my account. Thank you for that donation. And as a reward, you will get 5% off your orders at lindaisrael.com. And during the live stream, if I have a journal that I'm giving away at the very end, you are eligible to win that journal. Anybody that makes a donation gets into that drawing by manually typing in the raffle at the end, but then you also get the discount membership on my website. Thank you to Robin, who is my administrator during the live stream. She helps me out with answering questions as well as giving information. She is also my administrator over at the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group. If you haven't joined that group, please do. We'd love to have you over there. You're welcome to share what you're working on. Speaking of sharing, during the live today, you can speak up in the chat and say, hey, I have a YouTube channel. You will not be able to share your link to your channel, but you can at least say, hey, my name is, and this is what I do. And then your friends that come into the chat can follow each other. Let's keep the chat upbeat, friendly, and helpful. If you will be kind to those that are here. If you have a question, put it in all caps and I'll do my best to answer those. The chat sometimes goes pretty fast, so I don't always see it, so do ask again. And at the same time, if you're in the chat and you know the answer to somebody's question, please speak up and give them the answer. Check the description box for links to products that I share today. Yes, I am an Amazon affiliate, which means I do get a commission on items that you purchase through my link. If you're going to buy something anyway, I greatly appreciate it. It does not cost you any extra. It just gives me a little bit of a commission, which helps me buy products to show you here. If you win one of the raffles, you can start right now by typing exclamation point raffle. Do make sure that you go over to my website, and if you haven't already, created a user account. That way I will have your contact information so I can send you your prize. I am starting a raffle right now that is for 200 junk bucks, so you can get well on your way to accumulating your junk bucks. Let's have some fun today and let's get started. Thanks everybody for being here. Hello, hello, hello. I think I'm live. Are you with me? Hello, everybody. I was a little frazzled here at the beginning. I had to go and let the dog out real fast, and I had to go to the restroom. So I'm here. Are you here? Are you ready? Hey, Margie. Hey, Robin. Hey, Julie. How are y'all? That's all I see in the chat at the moment because I have to close one chat window in order to get my other chat window open. I know it's a whole ordeal. Anyhow, so glad to have you here today. So how is everybody? Did you have a great week? I had a busy week. Our printer at the shop went down again. It's part of the business, and it finally was repaired. I had to think about it, Thursday. So we stayed late Thursday working on it, and then of course Henry had to help me, and he helped me again on Friday, and then he worked Saturday and Sunday so I could have a couple of days away. Of course, he's, has to work all the time because that's who he is. So how is everybody? You doing good? All right, let's kind of recap what I did last week. I've got my projects ready to go here. So last week I showed y'all how to make what's going to be my foundation page in my journal. I went ahead and I made a second one. It's the same papers, I just reversed it. I did not stamp this one yet, but I probably will stamp this one the same way I did here, which was with the henna rose and embossing powder. And my idea was this will kind of be a journal slash ephemera book is what my goal is. So there'll be two of these sections that'll have lots of inserts and pockets, and then in between those I plan to put what I call a Midori style journal, which is a journal that could come out of the journal cover. So this is the first two-page layout in a sense for the storage portion. And last week we made this portion, which was a pocket that has several layers on it. So I'll pull out all of the layers. I think after the live stream, I did the following. I added this heart and a little piece of that tulle that I've used in a couple other places. That was added after the fact. And I think I also added this journal card after the fact. This was a paint chip that I had decorated that goes in here. And then this is a journal tag that comes from the Royal Peacock kit. I have it as a digital download, so if you missed out on getting the Royal Peacock set, I think I only have one of the actual kits available, and then I have it as a digital download. And then I made this, which is a insert that goes in that pocket. So if we were to mount this on the page, this is how it would look sticking out. I haven't glued everything down yet because I want to make sure that when I place everything, I have it in such a way, for example, I don't want this to be put here because then it would squish my feather. So I'm waiting to make sure that I have it right. Here I made a like a little booklet out of some scrapbook paper. I had a piece of cardstock that I stamped with acrylic paint. Oh, and I forgot to wash out my thing, but this is a piece of fabric that's stitched on here. And then here is another little tag, and I just added a little bit of decoration to the top of it. That goes in here. This is more of the Royal Peacock and then some feathers on there. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like it. Hey, Bonnie, welcome. What else? Inside here, I put pockets, and basically I used the pieces that were left over, and I added this stuff after the fact. This was some things that Jennifer Edmondson gave to me, and she gave me a bunch of little things to give away as gifts a long time ago, and I gave all the others away, but I decided to keep the Peacock because that would just help with the eclecticness of my Peacock journal. This is a journal card that I made a long time ago, and I had scanned it in and saved it and was able to shrink the size of it. This is another one of the Royal Peacock journal cards that I put here. I haven't added any additional decoration on the fronts here. I may later. I don't know. Another journal card. This is one of Norella's images that is a domino size. And what I did was I cropped a few of them off of the page, and then I told my printer to print it as a larger size, and I like that size. I should tell her to make those as journal cards. And then this was another piece from the thing that Jennifer gave me. And this goes all in here. So that's going to go on one of these sides. And then prior to the live, just so that I had one made up, I made this one, and I have added a few things to, oh, I forgot to mention, I added the book plate. I had showed at the very end a silver book plate, and I used my paint pen. This is a gold and silver Zig Painty, and I just basically opened that up and then used it to color the metal. And I already had some gold brads, and so I stuck those on there, and then I put it all together by mounting it onto another piece of paper. I don't know if you can kind of see that black frame, which I thought kind of helped set off the label. I didn't put anything under the label, but I did try to leave a little bit of wiggle room. It's a little loose, so we could stick something behind it, or you could just write into that label. I haven't decided yet what we're going to do there. Over here, I made a multi-tiered pocket. So basically there's 4 pockets here. There's 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th is in the back. This was a ready-made journal that was part of the Royal Peacock kit. You got a journal that was already put together. You could take the staples out, add more pages, do whatever you wish with it. And then here, I just added a few things. This was some trim that was given to me that I cut apart and put on here. And again, here's some more of those images from the kit that Jennifer gave to me. So I feel good to be able to use those. And then this was just some scraps of paper that I cut into tag shapes and used some of that tulle. So we've got a little variety there going on. I'm going to stick these back in here for now. I'll set this aside. Let's see, let's put these over here. Okay. Stay, I say, stay. You like it? Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for those cards and tags and little embellishments that you gave me. I greatly appreciate those. So know that anytime that y'all send me something like that, I really appreciate it. And I feel good being able to use it in my own journal that I'm planning to keep. All right, so here's what I did. I kind of grabbed some things and grouped them together in my thought of making those toppers that are going to go on the ephemera storage side. So let's get out this one. I may not use everything that I put in the pocket, but I picked things that I thought would go well together. Does that make sense? These are pockets that I picked up off of Amazon. I ordered 50 of them at a time. I had some from the dollar store, and these are so much more sturdier than the ones from the dollar store. And you can kind of see my little notes that I had written of how I want to put this together. And so in the photo that you saw at the beginning of my live, the thumbnail of the live, I showed a picture of all of these elements. And then, like I said, again, I don't know if I'll use them all, but I wanted to be able to have them available to me. So I've got a variety of things here. Set this over here. I have a stencil, which I can't find at the moment, but I haven't really honestly looked that hard. But I have a stencil that was made with these little feathers that came with, I'm not sure, but I think it came with the Christmas peacock, but I'm not positive. I can't remember. And I took them out, the pieces that were cut out of the stencil, and I sprayed them with some gold metallic paint. So I had this 18 karat gold plate metallic paint by Krylon, and I've had it for a while. Thankfully, it wasn't clogged all up, and I spritzed it, and then I was digging around, and I found a bunch of sequins and a little rhinestone, and I just glued those together. I have some gem tack by Beacon, and I glued those on because this is plastic, and I thought that would be a neat little embellishment. And then I've got what's going to be my topper pocket, and then these are all the elements that I was playing around with for the insert. So here I have a few things that I've set aside. I'll try to disengage the paper clip. There it goes. All right, we got that one. All right, so let's kind of look at what I've got here. So I took a piece of scrapbook paper and I added a book page to the back side of it so that I could have the pocket effect out of it and be able to put whatever I wanted inside of that pocket. And then I was playing around with things that I had. So in the Royal Peacock kit, you got some of this ribbon, and I happen to still have a few pieces left. And I thought, well, what if I were to put that onto the foundation page? And then I had a piece of hymnal that I have here. I have a doily, which I think we need to change the color of. I'm kind of thinking that maybe, do I want to make it a teal color? Here's one in this color. So let's kind of pretend. And this was going to go on here. In fact, I could probably get away with using this piece. Let's see what happens. What if I were to layer this all up, and instead of putting this across the corner, maybe I'll put it across the top? And I was trying to figure out, do I want to put this underneath? I don't know, kind of a little layered effect like that. My other thought was I cut a piece of cardstock here that is a little bit larger than my fabric piece that I have embellished. Part of the printer that I have that went down, it allows me to print transfers. These are garment ready images that come on a piece of film, and it has a adhesive to it that when you put it down on a piece of fabric and press it with a heat press and let it hit heat for a while and transfer, then you peel the backing off, and then this is what you're left with. So I made these to be able to use in this journal. These were images that are from a website that I'm a member of, a subscription that I have because of my t-shirt printing side of the business. And I was looking for something else, and the Peacock came up, and I went, wait. So then I went down the rabbit hole looking at images that were designed for you to put on shirts or on tumblers and coffee mugs because of sublimation. It's a whole nother process. So anyhow, this is kind of what I was playing around with. So I'm wondering, all that talking, I know. What I was wondering about doing was putting all of this layer together. This is another piece of that tool, and stitching this down and then making this a pocket on top of here so that we could put something on the very front, or just glue it all down, be done with it, and then we would just have the pocket that goes behind there. So what are your thoughts? Should we make this into a topper pocket? I think what I'm going to do first is glue down all these elements, and we will talk about if we want to make this into a pocket. How's that sound? So we're going to start with that. So this is just a piece of cardstock that I believe is 5 inches in size. And then I've got a piece of this tulle that I thought would be pretty to put on top. And then I had this piece of the Peacock fabric that I thought I'd put right in the middle. So what I'm going to do is grab my Fabri-Tac and at least glue these pieces together, and then I can go over, let's get the sewing lamb. I can go over to the sewing machine and stitch this around the edge. Now, if I had planned a little better, I could have used maybe some gold thread in my sewing machine, but I don't know where my gold thread is at the moment. I know I had some, but I think that I kept having problems with it jamming in my machine, and I tossed it somewhere. I was like, I am mad at you. I'm not going to use you, so be gone. None of you have ever done that, right? Julie, go around Christmas time, because that's where I found this tool, was at Christmas time. And I don't know where I've gone to. May have got it at Michael's. I may have got it at Hobby Lobby. I may have got it at Joann's Crafts. But it was basically in the Christmas aisle. Look here real fast. Now, I'm pretty sure that I tossed that gold thread because it just made me so mad. Yeah, because I don't see it in here. Okay. So I'm going to let that dry for a moment. And I'll go ahead and glue these pieces together so it's all ready to go. You know, when I go shopping around the Christmas time or sometimes after Christmas, and if I find something that I feel is pretty, it could be used in other themes besides Christmas, I would pick it up. Of course, I haven't done that in a while because if you have noticed my room, it's full. I don't need any more stuff. So I'm trying to be a good girl and not get anything else. So I'm trying to use up what I have. All right, I think we're going to glue down the ribbon. I got it the right side up. I'll use my Fabri-Tac glue. I probably should stitch it down. I don't know. Let me play with this and see how this works. And if it doesn't seem to be sticking the way that I think it should, then we can stitch it down. Yeah, so yeah, any place that would sell flowers, silk flowers, and home decor items, that's where I think that if you're in Australia, since you're going to have a different venue of products that you can use than we do, so maybe that's where you could do it. U-boat topper pocket. Okay, we're going to do a topper pocket. All right, I think the glue is going to hold that down pretty well. And I think what I want to do is wait to glue this down unless if I really pay attention to this. Let's see. If I put this here across the top, and this is going to go here, and then this was going to go here across it. So I could move it up a little bit and over. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and glue this down just so that I have it where I want it. So I'm going to glue here. And I may need a little bit of Fabri-Tac glue over the ribbon because of that weird plasticky fabric feel of this ribbon. Okay, so I'm going to lay that down. And I'll use my bottle to help, because I don't want glue all over my hands. And it turned a little bit, but I'll straighten it up. There we go. Okay. And then this piece, I think I'm going to put to where it's up high, so when we put this down, it sticks out on both sides. Oh, you can't see that. It sticks out on both sides. How's that? Yeah. All right, let's glue this piece down. Pocket topper. Okay, so we're going to do a pocket topper. So I don't want all of these layers underneath the pocket to interfere. So we're going to make another piece to help hold whatever I put in the pocket. Okay. All right, so that's drying. That's getting where it needs to be. You never talk to your machines? All right, so I'm going to stitch right around this area here, and then we're going to make this into a pocket that goes on top so that we can stick a card in on, I don't know which way yet, because I need to make sure that I don't make all of my pockets going this way. I may need to make that one coming out from the top. That might look kind of cool coming out from the top. All right, let's stitch this down. So I've got a regular sewing machine. I have regular thread. I have a regular needle. In fact, last week I bent a needle, and so I had to make a change in my machine. I think, we're a little bit out of picture. Is that better? Okay. Make sure that when you're stitching that the glue is dry before you go to stitch, because you don't want to gum up your machine and it'll cause the paper to tear. Just keep your machine clean. Go through it after a couple of sessions and clean out all the dust and lint and whatnot. Oh, hey, Safina. Hello. Welcome. I was looking. I used some of your fabric the other day. Oh, I don't know where I put it. I have a piece of your fabric here that I was using. Oh, here's some. I think you sent me some of this sari silk, and I've got it set aside to, oh, wrong camera. I got some of the sari silk that you gave me, and I've got it set aside so I can use it. Okay, let's stitch around here. It goes pretty quick. Oh, I just realized my machine. Oh, I hope you don't mess up. Let's see. Okay, it's stitching okay. My machine is not threaded correctly, but it seems to be functioning, so we're just going to let it go for a minute. I like the way this fabric turned out by putting the image on top. I was able to use a scrap that I've had for a while of the fabric by embellishing it. Okay. All right, so there's that piece. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. There's such pretty pieces of silk that I got from her. All right, so now we've got this piece. We're going to put this back over here, well, out of the way. So this piece is going to go on the page here, but I want to make this a pocket that I can use. So I think what I'm going to do first is get a book page that is bigger than this piece. So let's see. Let's pick this one. No, I want a thicker book. Where's my thicker book? Okay, I think this one might work. Yeah, it gives me a little space, and it's a thicker book. I like to buy sometimes new books. This was at a book sale that I went to, because they make great foundation pages when they're of good quality and they're not going to tear very easily. So my thought was, I'm going to line this up on here, maybe closer to one side or the other. I'm going to trim off this little raw edge here, just a tiny, tiny smidge. There, get rid of that little piece. And then this is, instead of making strips to go all the way around, I want a full pocket. So I'm going to lay this here. And I think what I want to do is right about, how do I want to do this? I think I'm going to trim this down. I'm going to use my paper trimmer and my, what do you call this, stylist. So I need it to be 1/2 inch bigger, at least. So let's go like that. Okay. And if I remember correctly, this was right at 5 inches. So what I'm going to do is line this up with my cutter blade. Okay. And score. And I have a pencil or a pen. Here's a pen. So I'm going to make a little mark. And I'll slide this over to the 1/2 inch mark. And in theory, what should happen is I should be able to put that right on top. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to cut this, rotate it. Now I'm going to do a 1/2 inch here. And fold that over. And then I want to make sure that I do the same thing, because this should be the same size all the way around. Line it up with the edge. Okay, then we're going to put that right in there. And I'm just using my topper as a guide. If you know the actual measurements, then of course you could use the measurements. All right. So now I'm just folding over all of those pieces. And I'm going to add some distress ink just in case it is seen on these corners. And I've got to trim across the diagonal here. So I'm going to go around these edges real fast, because you might be able to see part of this. Now, if you're really concerned about seeing it, you could paint it or use a different color of distress inks. But I think it'll be fine with a little bit of this beige coming through. Oh, you're Safina. Okay, now there you go. Oh, I'm so sorry for that you have been. Yes, you're right. I did have it for the wrong person. Thank you, Safina. I'm so sorry about your health. I hope I hope you get better and that you're able to get back into crafting, doing something that you love. Okay, let's cut this off. So I'm just going to cut off the corners like so. Okay. So now I need to decide which way I want to have my pocket be. And I think I'm going to have it coming from the top. That way it won't matter where I put it in my journal, so to speak, because the pieces would come from the top. So with that being said, I'm going to make sure again that this piece fits on here. And it looks like it does. So you kind of look from the back side, maybe a little bit smaller, but that's okay, but it'll fit. So I'm going to glue down this top part. And I should have folded it the other direction, but that's okay. It shouldn't cause a problem. Okay. Now, I want to make sure that I've got my topper right side up. So there's my top. I'm going to take this piece and glue it like this so that it creates the pocket up here, and this whole solid piece will get glued down, and it won't, my thing, whatever I put in the pocket, won't catch on these items because this piece protects those items. Does that make sense? Hello, Vicki, welcome. All right, so we're going to glue this down. I'm just using Aleene's tacky glue for when I do paper to paper. If I'm doing fabric and paper, a lot of times I'll use the Beacon Fabri-Tac. And then I showed earlier that if I'm using like jewels, I just recently started using the Beacon, what is it called? Gem Tack. It seems to work pretty good. All right, so we're going to keep this right side up. Let's check it again. Right side up. Okay. So this piece is going to fit right on the back here. I want it to make sure that it's inside the blue area. Okay. So now we're going to make something to put in the pocket, right? So now this piece is a pocket across here. So now we're going to glue this down on top, and then we'll be able to put things in our pocket here, like that. Yes, okay. So I'm going to put a generous amount of glue, especially here on this top portion. Another thing that I could have done was possibly, no, I think this will work. I was thinking maybe I could have put a tab here to glue it down, but I think this will be fine if I am careful and just put the glue right to the edge of that top portion, and then I'm just going to fill this in. Okay. Glue it down. All right, so I'm going to put that right over the top here. And I've got acrylic blocks here, so I'm just going to lay those on top and set that over here to the side for a moment. All right, so now I need some kind of card or a tag to go inside my pocket while that's gluing. Let's see what we can come up with. I have a few things that I've set aside. Like I have this dark blue paper. I have an envelope. We could use, I was just looking, you know, if I were to make this a two-tiered envelope that stuck out, and then we could put things inside the envelope. I know I'm really going over the board here, but I think that's what I'm going to do. I've got a book page here that I can use to cover my envelope. I got another book page, but I think I want this one. I also have this napkin that I think I want to use. And we'll set this aside for a moment. Okay, so I've got an envelope here. Let's look at my, if I have this where it sticks out just a smidge above, I don't want it too far. And then if I were to fold this up where it fits inside, okay, so the idea is that I need to decorate this piece and this piece, and then all of the back, right? So I'm going to put a little X. So we're going to X here, here, and here. And I was doing that because I'm trying to decide if I want to cover this as one solid piece or in pieces. So I'm going to glue the flap shut of this envelope. I've talked about this before. My in-laws used to have a business that you could contact and get a notary seal so that you could become a public notary and you could notarize documents. And they had these envelopes that they were going to throw away. And I said, no, don't throw those away. I can use them for something. And so I'm doing that now. All right, let's glue this better. Okay. All right, so I'm going to cover the whole thing, I think. At least where I need it to be covered. So if I were to cut this as a strip, so I'm going to use my paper cutter and cut off the excess area. Now, do I want it to be right side up or sideways? I think I may want to go sideways. So I'm cutting off all of the edges because I didn't want the edges. No boss fight winners today. Or that segment anyway. Okay, so do I want to cut pieces? So I could cut this piece. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is cut the one piece that's going to fit on the back, which we're going to decorate with other stuff, but I want to have coverage over this envelope. And I know I'm going to cut off part of it, so I'm okay that it's a little long. So we're going to cut off the top. So I'm going to make sure it fits. That looks like it fits. All right. So basically what I would do is this piece is going to come from the back up and over. So it protects that edge. And then I'll cut another piece to go here. I may even change that a little bit. Okay. So let's see. How wide was this? I know I'm off camera. Sorry. One moment. Un momento. I get to keep this one. This one's mine. All right. So here is where this will go. And this piece will go here. I'm kind of thinking I'll just cut this piece up. Okay, so if I make this exactly the height of here, go with me here, and I'm going to cover it with some napkin. So I want it the same height as my envelope. And I think I'm going to do the same thing with this piece as well. So I'm just going to match it up as best I can. It's okay if it's a little bit longer. Then I have book page pieces left over. All right, so let me get my mixed media mat. And I think I still have my glue in my paint pot. So I've got a little mixed media mat here. I'm going to lay these out. I'm going to open up my napkin here. I've had these napkins because they were I think they were in the Peacock kit, and I had a few left over. So I'm opening that up. So we're going to play with napkins. Getting a piece of tape. So if you've got a napkin that have layers, and you can sometimes use a piece of tape to help you find the layer. Sometimes you have to tear it, the backing, not the front. There we go. I can get that free. Come free. Now, if you are a person that saves everything, be my guest. I am not. I'm going to throw this piece away, but you can make other stuff with it. I'm just not going to today. I don't need anything else in my stash. All right, I think what I want to do is I'm going to get my good scissors here and cut this right at that seam. Because I don't need the whole piece, I just need part of it. So I'm going to set that aside. And my thought was I should be able to apply the glue and then apply the napkin. I think I can kind of do it from one side. It doesn't, the seam won't matter of the napkin. So I'm going to get my glue ready. Let's see if I can get the lid pried off. Oh, good job. I got it. Okay. So I've got my my good paintbrush here that had a little bit of gold paint in it, but that's okay. And I should have stirred this more, but this should be fine. Because this is just Aleene's tacky glue that's been watered down. And I'm just going to go in here and coat that book page with a little bit of this glue. Okay, kind of line those back up for a second. Then I'm going to take my napkin and figure out where my top is. All right, and I'm going to use my glue bottle to kind of roll over that. Now, if you really want it to be well adhered, you can put another layer of glue on the top if you want. I'm trying to not use that much glue because I want the texture of the napkin. All right, I'm going to clean off my glue. I need some more water in there. I keep an old jug of water in my craft room, and I say an old jug that I have filled with water from the tap. We drink distilled water that's been filtered, and I sometimes will keep the what you call it, the milk jugs or water jugs. I'm closing back up my glue. I'm gonna grab my heat tool for a moment and hold this up and try to dry it just a little bit. What have y'all been working on this week? Have y'all been doing anything fun? Have you been creating or thinking about creating, journaling about creating? I've got 2 more projects that I want to do. One of those is I have a planner that I made a couple of years ago, and I used it for that year. However, I didn't use it as I thought I would have used it, which was to actually journal in between the planner pages. I had a tendency to just use the planner pages. So I'm thinking about deconstructing. I think it might be, you'll have to look it up, Julia. I don't use that brand, but you might look it up. But anyhow, I'm going to deconstruct, and I'll even show y'all. I'm going to deconstruct this journal, which I used in 2018, and I've already written notes what I want to do. So some of the pages I wrote on, and then as you can see, I didn't there, but I did here. And then I used the planner pages and didn't write in the actual journal. See here, I wrote on the planner page. I did write on that page because that was January, you know, all good intentions and all. I've got all these journal cards I made that didn't end up being used. So my thought was I'm going to take this apart. I've got it set up currently as 3 signatures that are sewed into the journal. When I take out these planner inserts, because I'm going to take them out because I don't want them in here. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I will have a thinner journal, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to actually use this as I intended, which was to just journal every day, regardless of the planner portion of it, because I didn't really use it as a planner. I just wrote down what happened that day. And it'll have the 3 signatures all ready to go, and I'll make it a Midori style. I may alter this cover a little bit because you can see where it has been stitched together, but it's really loose now because this has been a while. Anyhow, I just wanted to share. I think that's a project. You got an idea of a project that you want to do, but it could take years? Well, you know, sometimes that's what you got to do to keep living, right? Yeah, nah, I don't feel like it good. I understand that. Yeah, I do. I understand that. I've got projects too that I'm like, I really want to do that, but I'm not in the situation where I can do it right now. But I have part of the supplies, if not all of the supplies necessary. And there's some things that I don't have all of the supplies. All right, so let me get my other scissors. Okay, so I think now what I'm going to do is cut these apart. And cut off the excess napkin. This takes precision cutting. What I could do is fold this to the inside and glue it down. Now I'll just cut it off. Just cut it off and be done with it. Okay. So now I'm going to decorate my envelope. I know I could have just done this, and maybe that's why I don't use envelopes that often, is because I could have just made this out of a book page a lot faster than to cut up an envelope. But I do it because sometimes y'all don't have, oh, I just cut part of it. Oh well. All of the supplies that I have. And we've got to make do with what we can get our hands on. Okay. Cut pieces. I don't need these. I'm going to throw it away. You haven't made anything in a while. You still have to clean up your craft room first. Get in there now, Jennifer, and clean it up. Yes, and and that's okay, Julie. I told Jennifer said, why don't you do the Peacock journal? Because I've been collecting stuff for this Peacock journal for a long time, and I was like, well, fine, I will, and it's going to take me as long as it takes me because I'm going to take my time and enjoy the whole process. So, Julie, don't worry about it. Now, what you can do is in my little the Friendly Junk Journal Facebook group or my private Linda Israel Facebook group, you could post in the smaller group because the Linda Israel one doesn't have near as many members, what you're working on, and then we can hold you accountable. See, that's different. Holding you accountable for a project is different than nagging you if you got it done or not. All right, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking that I'm going to put one piece on the front. I cut it to fit, but what I might do is go over the edges with some distress ink. Where's my greens? Let's see what we've got here. I've got, that's speckled egg. That's the wrong color. Forest moss and peeled paint. This may be too dark. Let's see if this one works. So if I were to put that on the edge, that covers it up, the color rise. I think that's the right color. All right, let's get these out of the way. And I've got a green. I'm going to get a piece of paper. All right, and I'm just going to really go on the edges. I'll kind of use my ink pad. So that'll cover up that white paper. I could also have sprayed it with Tattered Angels as well. Okay, and I think I will go ahead and do this part just in case any of it kind of is visible. And then we'll do this one. All right, now we're going to flip it over and we're going to do the same thing on this side. And I should have put a glove on. I'm getting gunk all over my hand. But you still refuse to get a cell phone? Hey, you don't have to get a cell phone. You don't have to get a cell phone. Well, your current cell phone has a good camera? It's funny how, years and years and years ago, Henry had to carry around a camera, and he also had to carry around a cellular phone. I was carrying around a camera for different things that I was working with. I was carrying around a cell phone, and I was carrying around a date book. First, it was a paper date book, and then later, it was an electronic date book. And I always said, man, why can't they make one electronic device that is a camera that is a cell phone, and that is a date book. And bam, now we have cell phones. And now I'm like, why do I have to carry this stupid thing around all the time? So I will tell you this, and I feel it's your prerogative if you want to feel the same way. My cell phone, my communicate device, is for my convenience. Not your convenience, my convenience. If I don't answer a phone call, it could be that I'm busy. It could be I don't feel like it. Whatever it may be, that there for my convenience. Used to, you would leave the house, and when you left the house, if somebody wanted to talk to you, they had to leave a message on your answer machine. That's when answering machines were actually built. Before that, they would just call the house, and if you didn't answer, they would try back again. And then they would wait a few hours, and they would try back again. So, if you really want to talk to me, you got to be persistent, or you have to leave a message. DSL camera, gotcha. Yeah, see, if you're at home, you don't need a cell phone. All right, I think that looks better. All right, so I'm going to glue on the bottom portion here, and then I'm going to cut this and put it up here. Does that make sense? That way, I've got this covered on the front, and it's seamless whenever there's nothing in the envelope pocket. I think is what I want. I probably should have, now, should I have cut this piece off? I think I will cut it off. Come on, cut straight. I'm cutting it before I put the napkin on because I don't want it to take away any of the napkin. Okay, there we go. All right, so now I'm going to take this piece, make sure it's going right side up, and I'm going to place it on the envelope here. Okay, and I think that was a good choice, putting the green on the sides. You can't see where it didn't really go all the way to the edge. I mean, you can, but it's not, you know, highly noticeable. All right, so I think, yeah, I'm going to cut this. And then this piece is going to be glued down up here, so it looks like it's all one piece. Does that make sense? Okay, I hope it does. I'm not joking. Jennifer knows that I am not joking. If I don't want to answer it, I'm not going to answer it. Or if I'm busy, I'm busy. So, and if I feel the same way when I call you, if you're busy, I will leave a message or I will text message you and say, hey, you want to chat? Love to chat with you. I do that with Norella every so often. I'll say, hey, if you're not busy and you want to chat, give me a call. And she'll give me a call sometimes. Sometimes she'll say, I'm busy. I say, okay, well, have a great day. Yeah, we're all showing our age, aren't we, Sabina? You like that with the words behind the napkin? I think I will go ahead and put just a little bit of the green on here. There's still a little bit on the brush. Okay. So I think that would look, I mean, it's hardly noticeable. Okay, but let's put this piece on the back. Now my nose is running. So I'm going to glue this one down. A little bit of glue. If they can't leave a message, it's there. Exactly. For sure. I get so annoyed. There's a couple of people that won't leave a message. They'll call, and then when they get the voicemail, they'll hang up. Or they'll say, Linda, call me. And then when I call them, because eventually I'm annoyed because they just said, Linda, call me. And I'm like, why? Why do you want me to call you? If you would let me know the reason for my returning your phone call, then I will be mentally prepared to talk to you. It's like, so if you want to talk to me, by golly, leave a message that says, hey, Linda, call me about. And then I'll be like, oh, okay. So I'm in that mindset. Because if you say, Linda, call me, and I don't know why, and then I call you and you put me on the spot, I'll say, I don't know, I'll have to call you back. Okay, so we're getting there. So this piece is going to go back here. I can get it in. And it just barely peeks out the top. What do you think? I think I'm going to have to put a little glue right there behind the paper doily. Okay, let's glue that down. Exactly, Margie says. I do the same. If the number isn't saved to my phone, I don't answer. I understand. Yeah, my voicemail even says, if you're a telemarketer, don't bother, basically. And I don't answer your call if I don't know who you are. So leave your name and number and I will call you back. Well, one of my customers left me a message. He goes, yeah, I'm calling. Did you want to buy some candy bars? I'm going to be in your area later. And if you would like some candy bars, give me a call back. He was silly. Oh, dear. Okay, so I'm going to glue on the sides here. Yeah, I'm going to glue on the sides because then if we wanted to, we have multiple pockets. Because we all like multiple pockets, do we not? Potential fraud. There you go. He was one of my customers, though. I knew he was being silly about if you're a telemarketer, I don't want any part of you. That looks pretty cool. Yes, please. So I texted him back later and he goes, yes, I would love it if you'd bring a candy bar. And then I went on to answer a question that he had. And he goes, I don't have any candy bars. I said, oh, dang it. Then why'd you say that? He says, because it was a telemarketer. You said about the telemarketer. He thought I was being serious. I was getting mad at him. What? You said you had candy bars. Okay, so this guy, I had originally planned to put it up here. I could put it on the edge, then it's going to be behind. So is that, do we want to do it like that? Well, then you can see it, can't you? But if I do that, I have to cut open the top of this, or I need to cut open the side so I can stick another card inside this way. Because we don't want another thing sticking out the top too far here, right? All right, so I'm going to cut open this side here, and that'll give us where we can put a journal card going that way, and we have a little bit of room here. I know I'm complicated. Okay. Candy bars hurt your joints. Why are you putting candy bars on your joints? Julie, I have found that I don't like candy bars, not near like I did when I was a kid. They're not the same, but they're just so sweet that it just doesn't really work out too well for me. All right. Now, when I cut that off, I cut this side, but I'm going to go ahead and glue it back together. Okay. And then this one should be open here. Okay. So we got a nice little pocket going on. Get that smoothed out. All right, so if I put this up here at the top, when it's in my pocket, it would stick out a little bit. So I may put another piece right behind it. Oh, you know what I could do? All right, let me get, I've got a little piece of this purple here. If I mat that with purple on here so that it gives a little bit more height for me to work on. And then I've got some feathers. Not make it this big, make it a little bit smaller. So I'm going to cut this piece. Where's my, I found one of my old paper cutters, and this one was given to me. A friend of mine used to do Creative Memories, used to buy it, and she bought this, and she didn't scrapbook for very long. I'm going to turn this over because the shiny is sticking to it. And she didn't scrapbook for very long. And she goes, here, do you want all this? And so she gave me a whole bunch of little things like this. All right, I think if I make that under 4 inches, because my envelope is also under 4 inches, so I need to go back that way a little bit. Oh, I see. I need to make this narrower. I was trying to make it a little bit wider. All right, and then I want to make this just tall enough. So what if we did 1.25 inches? And I probably should have just folded it over. So I may end up gluing this differently. Okay. All right. So this side is just solid. And if I were to put this at the top and then sandwich it on the other side, then I would have a little area, and I could put feathers tucked behind here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue this piece down. It's got this weird texture on it. You have a friend that's looking for one of those photo cutters? It's pretty cool. I found it in my stash at the shop because I had taken it up there, and I thought I had one here as well. And come to find out, I used to have another one here. Both of them were at the shop, and the other one that I had loved for years was kind of broken. So I decided that I would bring home this one and try using it for a little while, see if I liked it. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue this on, but I'm going to cut off the excess. So I'm going to try to line up the top here. And then I'll cut off whatever I feel is too tall. We'll stick it into the pocket here in just a moment and test it out. All right, so I want to line this up to where it looks like from the front and the back that I did that on purpose. And then I'm just going to close this. Okay, so now I've got that piece. And then this I was going to put right on top. But I think I want to cut this portion off just a little bit. So I'm going to line this up in here. And let's see. If I put that right on there, let's give it just a little bit more space. Let's line it up with the edge. There we go. I would love to get a large guillotine trimmer. I've been looking at them, but they're so expensive. I didn't add any distress inks on the purple, but we'll do that real quick. All right, so this piece I'm going to put on here, this whole thing will fit in here. And then I'll have feathers sticking out. And then when we take it out, you'll see what's behind there. Okay, so I've got some feathers here. Okay. I don't know how many I want or how I want to put them on there. Let's look at it. Let's see if this is a bad idea. I've got some that are straight. I've got another little one. And then if we were to glue that on top of it to where there's just a few sticking out, can you see that? Hey, Git, hello! Oh, here, let's get these out of the way. And let's lay this on top of here because that's where you're going to see it. I think that's the appropriate amount. Just a few sticking out the top. Fluffy feathers. All right, so I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac glue. And I think what I want to do is just put a little glue down first and stick the feathers in it. And then I'll glue the word over the top. So we'll just kind of... I may even put a little bit more feathers on here. I have the feathers. Why not use them? Use them up. All right, and then this would go right over the top of that. I think I also want to get some of that gold trim. Let's see if I can do this. Now, do I want it in the front? Yes. Just kind of sticking that in the glue. And then we'll put this over the top of it. Oh, that looks pretty. Love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Fluffy feathers. Oh, I'm off camera. I have to lean really far forward to get this camera here. So sometimes I get a little tired and I forget. All right, let's put that right across the top here. Oh, that looks, and it almost looks like a little crown, doesn't it? Sticking out of there. What do you think? Let me move my fat fingers. All right, let's put a couple of these little clippies to kind of help hold it in place for a moment, especially over where the feathers are. Okay, so now what I need to do is we need to find something we can put into our pockets, right? I know I have a few things already made, so let's kind of look to see what I have. I think this is too big. Yeah, so that won't go in there. I've got this image that I could put on something. I wanted these little, God so loved the world that he gave his only son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have eternal life. John 3:16. It looks like I haven't distressed it, so that needs to be re-inked. I think that's enough. Yeah, maybe we'll do something on the back side of this. Because, you know, I'm trying to add as many peacocks as I possibly can, right? Rings goes in the pockets. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. We'll put that in the pocket. Oh, see, that sits down far enough. I could put this peacock on the back. I have some others. Let's see if one's better suited. Okay, we got that one. or the green, or this one. I don't want it to blend too much in, but I kind of like that. What do you think? Don't forget to support, or did we like the very first ones that I had with this brighter color? I don't know. I'm thinking. All right, let me keep going here. I know I have some more. So let's look at and see what else I have here. Put this in here. The last one. This one. I think that's the one that should go on there. And then this is some of the printed kit elements. Let's see if there's something in here that... I kind of wish that was smaller. Well, you know what? I guess I'm going to have to make something. Isn't that terrible? I could probably put this in there, though. I've got this little... Is that too redundant? We have this little piece that could fit in here. That would fit in here. I gotta get it under the tool. And that would fit like that. So it looks pregnant. But I like it. Okay, so let's come back out. And I'm just going to put that in here. And I think I'm going to lay this over the back. I think. You like it a lot? Okay, thank you. Oh, and I still have some of these I need to use. Okay. All right, where is it? Then I still have this guy that I'm going to put here. Okay, let's put that back here. So I'm really trying to take my time working on this journal. And adding all the little things that make me happy. Now, do I want the feather going up or the feather going down? I think I want it to go that way. I'm going to go ahead and glue it in place. So I'm just going to add some of the Fabri-Tac here. I probably should have used the gem tack, but I already had it in my hand. Okay. Let's lay this down right here. They are self-propagating, Margie. Did you know that? All right, so right across there. Now, do I need a... I think it's fine. I was trying to decide if I wanted another layer behind there. I mean, you know, we're just adding to it as much as possible, but I kind of like that look of that on here. It's just prettiness. It's all about being pretty, right? They already self-propagate, woman. Don't you know? That's how we started with junk journals. They came out of other projects. Like the paper scraps. You got it. All right. I like it. You know, I put a gem here, and I don't have one here. And I hardly ever do this, so I'm going to make the effort here. I see some more sequins. I have a gold gem. And I've got this, well, that was a sequin. A gold one. I need to separate these out again. I have a gold one there. Let's see what else I've got. if I have a big enough sequin, what I can do is, there's one that's kind of a green, is I can put the sequin down and then add the bling. Now, do we want that? I was trying to see if I find a different bling. This is one of the reasons why I don't get this stuff out. Oh wait, here's a turquoisey one. Hey Connie, hello. Yay, sparkle. What do you think? I think we should go with, I'll put this green down, and then I have a turquoise sparkle that we can glue on there. I don't even know if y'all can see that, but I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, let's put this away. Let's put that away. Oh, and I just realized that I have this guy too, but I have to make a thing that goes inside here. All right, so let's put down, we're going to put down the sequin. So I'm going to lay that down for a second. Oh, I should have used this gem tack again. Oh well. And we're going to put that kind of beside here. And I'm going to put a little dollop of glue on top. Okay. And then I've got a little pair of tweezers here. If I can get this turned over. There. What do you think? So then this piece will come out. You put something else in there. This one is a pocket here. And you've got the back decorated just a little bit. And then all of this, I'm going to try not to touch that portion, can then fit in our pocket here. Oh, I think that was the smart move, Linda. I'm putting it in just far enough down that you can see the text. But isn't that pretty with the feathers sticking out the top? Oh, I like it. I hope y'all like it. You like that? What do you think? And that turned out, so sometimes you have to think about it, and it's okay that it covered up the doily. When we take this out, then we have the doily and the music, which you can kind of see the music down here. Had I been smart, I should have gone ahead and done two or the whole piece, and I could have put it down here to mirror, but you know, you don't have to have it completely symmetrical. Henry is one of those that if it's not right, he gets mad and he's like, no, you don't have it symmetrical. I'm like, it's okay, dear. And I don't think I need anything else on here because I could save it for putting something else on there later. Because I did decorate this side, and I don't want it to get too much thicker, but we have here where we can put stuff in side here as well. All right, I like how that turned out. Okay, let's put this in here for now. I'm patting myself on the back. All right, now we're gonna make a top loading element here, and my thought was to make a kind of like a folio, if you will. So I've got a few little things that I've started with. Let's move this out of the way. Move some things out of the way, my dear. Exactly. Not everything is symmetrical. Look at my eyes and my ears, but my nose. If it was, I'd be making a lot of money. All right, so here's what I did. I started going through my stash and finding things. I found this piece of cardstock, and when I folded it, can you see where it split? I folded it and I was like, oh, it split. So I thought I would just kind of show you, this is what happens. If that splits, I got a piece of fabric here and I'm going to glue that piece of fabric over the top of that. So I'm going to grab my Fabri-Tac and just put down a little glue. Now this is just cardstock weight for this little journal folio thingy that I'm making. It doesn't have to be super thick. But if you like making it thick, be my guest. But it is not necessary for the durability. All right, so I'm trying to decide if I want to make it longer. I think I'm going to make it a little bit longer at the top. And I think I am going to do this. I'm going to fold this to the inside. See, did I make it? And go right about there. Because this is going to be a top loading pocket. And I could use that to help pull it out of the pocket. So if we have this closed, then I can kind of pull on that tab. So I want to make sure I've got a good amount of glue. Okay. Oh, all right. And I had already glued another piece of paper to the inside. This is one of those marble pages that I got, I don't know, 20 something years ago at a rubber stamp convention, and I cheated and I photocopied it. Actually, I scanned it into my computer. I need to adjust it a little bit, I think. But I thought the colors were perfect to use for my journal. Okay, so I've got that glued on. I may need to adjust more, but I think that turned out pretty like that. And then my thought was, I've got a piece of this lace that I could put on here, and I have a piece of hymnal that was left over from the other portion. And I have another one of these little guys that I thought, well, if I layer this upright, I mean, I know it's covering up the pretty print, but I could do something. What I might do is cut this off. I don't know. The other one, I put a hardware there. I couldn't get my words out. But I've got some others. What if I have this big oval? Do I have one bigger? No, I have this shape. And I can color it with the gold. Do you want me to do that? I can color that with gold. And I can get some more of my gold paint out and we can stamp this one. And I know it's the same technique, but I think I'm okay with using it more than once. Problem solver. So what do you think? Do we need the oval or the square? And let's see what other. That's oval. And these are already colored, but I think I like the gold better. I think I'm okay with this one. Let's do this rectangular one. That's what we're going to do. Y'all took too long. Somewhere around here I have brads. I saw them. Where are they? Oh my goodness. I may have to complete that portion at a later time until I can see my brads. But I think I'll go ahead and let's stamp this portion so that it has the gold. Now, do I want to do it with gold embossing powder or with the gold acrylic paint like we did the other day? The acrylic paint takes less time, I think, personally. I am trying to clear out the sponge that I used the other day because I left it in the water. Instead of taking it to the sink and cleaning it out, I've just been adding more water. There we go. Let's get this. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I've got acrylic paint. I have a rubber stamp. I've got a little sponge dauber. I'm going to use this as if it is a stamp pad after I drop it into the paint. Wipe that off. So I'm just going to pounce it onto my stamp. And then I'm going to just kiss it off once and then stamp this. And I can get a couple of stamps out of it. You see there? So that's like the second and the third generation. So depending on how much you want, just apply more paint. Pounce that on there. And if you want to kiss it off, you can. I'm going to not do that this time. And see how many I can get out of it. Let's go this way. Got a couple more out of that one. Okay, like this. Let's see. Just kind of filling in. Okay. Kind of filled in there. I'm going to put this back in my water. I'm going to get my heat tool and dry this real fast. And I'm going to get my cleaner and my rag. Come here, cleaner. Ugh, longer arms. I've got a little rag here. So I'm just going to use my cleaner, which is Thieves Cleaner and water. And I'm just sprayed it over that. Don't let it set too long. And I'm just going to brush this off a couple times. Now, another thing you can do is get a shallow tray and put some water in it with a little bit of like Thieves or very mild detergent, something that you're not afraid to stick your hands in. If it's that gentle, then you can use it on your stamps. And you can just leave your stamp in a little tray for a little while, and that will soak up that paint. All right, let's dry this. Linda's glitter box what again? Uh-oh. Okay, so my thoughts were, if I put this guy on here, and then if I come back and put this on here, I can paint that gold and then stick that down. Do you want me to do that today so you can see how the gold looks? I have to find my brads, which I know are here. I saw them. I just can't see them at the moment because they're not where I think they should be. That's usually what happens though, right? You think, oh, I'll put them right here. Found them! All right, so do I want a piece of bright colored paper behind him? What if, just what if? What if I were to back him with a little bit of this turquoise on top of that? I think that would be quite pretty. So we're going to trim this down. I think I don't want it as big of a border as what it has. You hate that? It just disappears. It's like, what the heck, man? Okay. So then, I think that's what I want. Just a little pop of color. You like that, Jennifer? Thank you. Well, I'm glad somebody's listening. Oh, dear Lord. Okay, let's cut that off. And then we'll put that down. What do you think? That looks great. Whoop, whoop. All right, all right. Okay. whew, I get, when I get in a roll, and then y'all be like, are you going to hurry up and get this done, Linda? I'm like, no. Okay. This is for the cover. This is for the cover. So, do we want the cover to have a pocket in it? Do we want the cover to have a pocket? And what I could do is make a tag and use some of that gold tulle in the tag. All right, so I want a piece of paper that is a pretty shade. Do we want, I think I want this one, or do I want this purple? Let's do the purple. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a strip to be narrow enough that it will go into my paper punch. So it can be 1.5, 2.5, or 2 inches. I need it narrow enough that it can go inside my pocket. I can put gussets on it. So this is almost 2 3/4 of an inch wide. So if I did a 2.5 inch, that might work. So let's look at this. I don't want it to be too tall, but I want it taller than the pocket. Okay, so I'm going to cut it this way. I want it to be approximately, let's see, not that tall. Let's come back. Probably about that. Okay. I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to trim this to 2.5 inches. I'm going to use the paper punch and punch the label portion at the top. Then I'm going to cut this piece of paper down to be the height that I want it to be, because I know that this punch removes some of the top portion, and I was trying to do all that measuring before I punched it, and then I would have been too short. So I think what I want it to do is just stick out about that much, or maybe a little less. Let's go right about there. So I'm going to cut this to be just a little bit shy of that. Okay. I could fold it. I'm going to score it. Where did I put it? I'm not going to cut it. I'm going to score it. And look what we made. I can round these corners off, and then that'll fit behind here. And when you pull it out, you've got, you could even turn it into a booklet. Oh my gosh! All right, my brain is on overdrive now. All right, so I'm going to round the corners and see if that is enough to make that fit down so it doesn't look so weird from the fold. And I think it looks good. So I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to turn this into a pocket by adding a gusset to it. We're going to add some distress inks, and then I think I need to paint my metal piece and then start assembling some of this. Isn't it a cool punch? I like it a lot. I have 2 of them now. I couldn't find mine for the longest time. I mean months and months. I could not find it. I kept looking and I kept looking and I kept looking. And finally there was a sale and I went and bought one because it was 50% off. I kid you not. I brought it home. I took it out of the package. I threw the package away. And then later that afternoon, I found my other punch. And what's funny, right now, I know where one is. And I think I know where the other one is. I see it. It's back there. So, you know, Sometimes you have to buy more than one. All right, so I'm going to make an additional pocket out of this. So I usually have strips of paper already cut. This looks like it might work. And here's another, so we're going to use those. And I'm going to put a stripe of glue here and attach this strip of paper so that I have the full width of the pocket. That's why I'm doing this. Because my tag that I'm putting in the pocket is 2.5 inches wide, but this pocket is just over 2 3/4 of an inch wide. Okay, I'm going to do this side. Same way. Just dragging that over. I probably should have added the distress inks to the edges before I put this on, but that's okay. I think I also want to, I think I want to stitch around this piece because I think the stitching would look good on here. So I'm going to glue that one right here in the middle, like so. All right, I'm going to give this a moment to dry, and we'll go over to the sewing machine and stitch around this piece. So I'll leave that there and put that back up here. I'm going to go ahead and add some distress inks to this piece. Yeah, that's why you have two. This punch is by Paper Studios. Does it say on here somewhere? But it's from Paper Studios. That's where mine is from. All right, so I'm just going to add some distress inks here. It's kind of a periwinkle, purpley blue color. I love that I have this box of scraps here and that I'm using them. You know, I'm trying to find what's the perfect thing, and I'm like, oh, here's a piece of paper that might work. Okay, then we got that. And let's do the black. Even though it's black, you can't really see it. I could come back in with the gold paint. Why don't we do that? I'll do it with a paintbrush. Let's do this. Let's see if I can make a mess. So I'm just going to kind of paint the edge. Yeah, here we go. That's better. Kind of gives it that gilded look. I need some more of this paint. If I'm not too busy this week, you want to go to Hobby Lobby, Jennifer? Robin? We could probably go down to Basket Market. I don't have a lot of money to spend. Okay, I'm liking that look. Making it rich. Okay. Better behave now. All right, so let's add some of this tulle. Wipe my hands off. That I have put somewhere. Where is it? I just had it. I moved it out of the way because I cut a piece off of it. Did it fall on the floor? It's not with Hercules. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Where did it go? I mean, literally. Oh, there it is. Whew. Ha! I found it. I found it. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. All right. I think I want a piece of this. Maybe 2 pieces. Let's see. let's go like this, and let's do it one more time. All right, let's put this back where you belong, which is in this little zipper bag of fabric. So now I got two little pieces here, and my thought was, let's see, maybe we should just do the shorter. Okay. Get a little piece of string. Come here. Well, of course, I didn't get the little piece. I got the biggest piece out there. All right, so I'm going to take this, and we're going to pull it through this tag. Okay. Come on. Well, good grief. It went further than I thought it was going to. But that's okay. I'm just going to kind of wad it all up at the top here. And then we're going to sew that. All right, let's go to the machine. Kick him, Julie. You think Hobby Lobby has paint on sale this week? Well, good, because I want to get at least one tube, and it needs to be that gold, that antique gold, because I was noticing that I'm out of my backup glue paint. I mean, okay, I like that. It's just, I'll trim this one piece because it's kind of crazy out there. All right, now I'm going to stitch around this guy. Add in the stitches. Go down this way. Okay. I like it. So that's been stitched upon. Master's Touch. Yes, yes, that's the brand. That's the brand. Okay, so this guy should be dry now. And we're going to cut the corners off of here across this way. And then we're going to fold this to the inside all the way around. I'm going to distress the teal piece of paper, and then we're going to adhere that onto our black card here. Let's add the distressings. Okay, I think we want this somewhat in the center, but we're going to leave room for the book plate here at the bottom. And then this guy is going to fit. I'll make sure I put it in the pocket so you can see. Like that. How's that look? I think that looks pretty good. I don't know if I want to put another piece of paper right behind the book plate, or just plan on sliding a piece of paper into it and gluing it down. All right, let's glue this down. So I'm going to come in here, put glue on the pocket. You know, we can make a secondary pocket. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, so this is going to go on here. Come down just a smidge. All right, I like that. I'm going to lay a acrylic block over that for a moment. let's paint the hardware. So let me get a pair of gloves out. Okay, here we go. So I've got this paint pen, a shade. All right, and you push the tip in, and then you can start working with it. I'll have to probably push it a couple of times, and I can barely see the metal, so it's kind of hard to know if I've got the whole thing covered or not. But I'm going to try. Okay, and then rotate it. Another thing you could do is you can use embossing powder. It takes a little bit more effort. It'll kind of give it a grungy look. But most of the paints, if you can get one that will paint on metal, it doesn't take too long for it to dry. And again, I have had this hardware for a very long time. I think there was 2 boxes that came from Hobby Lobby and one that came from Stampin' Up. I'm okay if it's kind of rough looking, not perfectly painted, because I think it kind of gives it that lost and found vibe to it a little bit. So there's you kind of see the gold on there now. Give that a moment to dry. I got hair in my face. What do you have, Jennifer, since your hubby said hello? No, I didn't see your comment. Okay, let's go back. There was one at my Basket Market find. What'd you find at Basket Market? Let's go up. I'm looking for your comment. Where's Jennifer's comment? Y'all were talking too much. I keep scrolling back, but I don't see your comment, Jennifer. Where is it? I just saw. Linda, did you see my comment? And I scroll back. I missed it. I missed it! Yeah, I didn't see it about market finds. Cool. All right. That should be drying. So then this piece, this is the front of my journal insert thingy, is going to go on here. This will go in the pocket. Now it better go in there because I got it go in there. Okay, so that'll go in the pocket. We're going to have a piece of lace. Did I just get paint on me? Probably. Going down the side here. And I've got a piece of music, which is now upside down, that we're going to put here. And then this piece is going to go over the top of it. So what do we need to change? Let me get that batter into view. What do we need to change, if anything? This is going to go here. I think it might be dry enough. It's not coming off on my finger. So that's going to go there. I think I did the right choice choosing that turquoisey color to go here because it mimics there. Went to Basket Market today with your hubs. Oh, hey, Tony. no. Well, fun. I'm surprised he went with you. Okay. I think I'm at the point where we can, I'm trying to decide if I want a black piece to go right behind the label, because it's going to be difficult to stick one in from behind. You can. It may have to stick out a little bit. I could just go ahead and make, let's see what happens if I can make a label that would fit. Okay, so if I turn this over and I go here, where are my other glasses? So I can see. All right, so I'm getting a secondary pair of glasses so I can see how close I can get. There's a metal bevel in this label here, so I'm trying to decide if I just want to come over and cut it to where it's just inside and maybe leave it tall enough that you can kind of pull it out. Let's see. It's only paper. What is it going to hurt? Okay. So, get my glasses out of the way now. I got that done. Well, hey, Beverly. All right, so then this should, in theory, fit right behind. And I think I'm okay with leaving it a little long, sticking out the top. Right there. So, I've kind of messed up the, but I think it's okay. I think it looks okay if it looks a little grungy. I'm going to put some distress inks around this piece. Thanks for being here. Oh, he's on vacation and you're having to put up with you? Why doesn't he go do something? I know, Henry would do the same thing. That's why I make him go somewhere for our vacation. We don't just stay home. I make him go do something. Of course, we don't go very often, but we try to plan it. Okay, so let's glue some of these pieces down here, right? I'm going to glue down the lace. If I want to trim it, I'll trim it after I glue it down. So I'm going to put some of the Fabri-Tac glue down. Okay, nice generous amount. And then I'll lay this lace down. Okay, and then we're going to lay out this book page here. I am going to put a little bit of Fabri-Tac on the portion that's going to be on top of the lace. And then I'll use tacky glue for the other half. That way it'll get a good adhesion. All right, let's flip it over. Stick it down. Right about there. That looks pretty straight. All right, I'm just smoothing that out gently because it's a hymnal and it was really, really old. Okay. And then this piece is going to get this guy. So I'm going to get out my awl and my piece of fun foam and we'll punch the holes for the brads, and then we'll attach the brads through the holes, right? So I'm trying to look to see where I want that. I think that's about right. And we're going to punch a hole here. Oh, and punch a hole there. And leave that in place. And I got my brads. I almost lost them again. I got 2 brads out. I don't need 3. I just need 2. All right, let's put these back over here where I can see them. I'm going to need my other glasses again. It sucks getting old, y'all. I'm in between readers on small tasks, so I'm trying to make do by using multiple pairs of glasses until I can decide when I want to go get a prescription glasses, because I'm still using readers. Okay, why aren't you going through that hole? You are being a patootie. Alright. I hate doing tedious stuff like this while I am live because I always seem to have an issue. Okay, I got that one. Alright, so that one's going through there, and I'm going to split the legs. Come on. Use more than one tool. Okay. Alright, and then we're going to do the other side. Come on. And of course, it's going to slide around on me. Come on. Really? Oh, I see what happened. I guess it shifted because the hole is over further than I thought it was. There we go. Okay. Now, let's open these legs up. Okay. There. Whew! Wearing two pairs of glasses. If you look up, look out! Alright, so now I've got the brads on the backside here, and I should be able to slide this little piece of paper into that spot. And it may kind of fall out, but I think if I'm gentle until I'm ready to put whatever on there, and then I can glue it into place. How's that? I'm going to glue this down now. Now, do I want it to go this way or more this way? I think right about there. And we'll still see the flowers in the background. I like it. Okay, let's put some glue on here. Let's get that out of the way. I'm going to take this out right now because it was interfering. Now, you could have made this an additional pocket, but I think we've done quite a few pockets today. And we haven't even done the inside. Oh, I hope you feel better. I understand. I've had a headache most of the day. Okay, let's put that down. I like it. All right, let's put my acrylic block on top for a moment. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? And then we'll have this little tag that'll be in there. All right, so for the inside, I want to make some pockets because I have these mini journals that I made using the mini kits. I had a couple left over in my stash, and so I used some of my mop-up papers in between the printed paper. So I've got two of those. And my thought was I would make a diagonal pocket to go into the journal, insert, folio, whatever you want to call this. So I grabbed a few things that I thought would work to make up my insides. So I'm going to flip this over. Let's put this back in here now. Okay. So over here, I am going to cut off the excess of this lace. There. Apparently I'm going to make a mess. Make a mess, that's what we do. We make a mess. Oh, look, and that kind of ties those together, didn't it? I didn't see that. Okay, so my thought was I wanted a diagonal pocket to go here in the corner that would hold a journal. And then I was thinking that I would also want a tall, thin pocket that goes behind that would hold some writing space in it. That's my thoughts, okay, of layering up like this. So I've got some envelopes, and I've already pre-cut some cards, but I haven't made the pocket portion yet. My other thought was I could make this, use the envelopes, cut at a diagonal, and then that would give me 2 diagonal spots, maybe. You know what? I have extras of these envelopes, so I'm just going to try something real fast. And sometimes that's what you need to do, is you need to experiment to see, is that going to work, you know, or no, that's not going to work. And you don't have to use the real ephemera to do it. All right, so if I were to cut this so that it accommodates this guy, so I want to start here. Okay. So I'm getting my paper cutter out, and I'm going to lay this in here at a diagonal using this point that I made. You can barely see that. And I may make it a little bit, yeah. Do I want to go, oh, we'll do about like that. So here was my thinking. I could, in theory, place these like this. I could even bring one up higher. And then this piece would go in here. So I'd want to place that high enough that it was up there. And then this piece would hold this journal over here. And it's going to be thick, okay? I was going to do this twice, so it's going to be pretty thick. What do you think? Is that what I should do? And then I'm using the envelopes again, so I've just repeat that over here to hold the journal card. And it's a way to get the mini journal included into the whole Peacock themed journal kit thingy that I'm doing. Book. What is it? I don't know. It's a book. It's a journal. I think I want to do some mixed media on these envelopes. So I'm going to get 2 envelopes. Got 2 envelopes. I'm going to glue them shut. Thick is good. It will be thick. I can barely see where that line is, but I'm going to glue that shut. And I'm going to glue this one shut. And I think I will collage a couple of pieces of book page so that I can cover up the return address. Over here on this side, maybe. I could just cover it with different papers, but I don't know. Do I just want to cover this up? Something's got a duck on it. But I have other papers I could kind of glue. It's going to be flat in the back, glued down, so I'm only needing to do one side. If I do one side, I kind of feel like instead of just doing a piece down the middle, I should cover the whole thing with a book page. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. All right, so we're going to cover the whole thing. I've got a couple of books here. I don't know if this one's too small. Okay, yeah. let's see. Nope, that won't work either because I don't want the text to be readable, really. So I want it to go the opposite direction. I don't know why I'm looking that way when I moved my books over here. I was looking in the wrong spot. But where is it? Because I didn't move. Is it still? Oh, that's where it is. Okay. I found the one that I was looking for. Oh, my apron thingy is coming apart. All right, I think I want 2 of these. Let's put that here. So I'm trying to decide, do I just paste? Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Is I'll just paste this down, willy-nilly down, and then what I'll do is I can do some mixed media over the top of that and fill in and all that. Okay, I only needed 1. Okay. So I'm going to glue that portion down onto a book page. In fact, I may even move it over just a little bit so I can wrap it to the back side. So I'll have a nice finished edge to it. Okay, do that over here. I know it will have a little bit of some glue marks in it, but they generally will dry okay. I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap. Put that down where you can't see them on the other side. Okay, so now I'm going to trim these off and leave a little bit of a piece that I can wrap to the back side. After it's been decorated, it can be wrapped to the back side so you won't see the white part of the envelope. All right, so what do we want to do on here? Let's do some mixed media. Maybe some stamping and spraying, something like that. I'm going to get out a couple of pieces here. All right, so I may want my mixed media mat. That'll give me a little bit more room to work on. And I'm still going to use some paper underneath, just because if you use a wet medium, sometimes that can run all over the place. And if you have paper, it'll kind of help soak it up. Okay. All right. I'm thinking let's add some distress inks to the page. Maybe I'm going to cheat on one of them. Adding some color. The background page is that marble effect. And you know what I have here? I have a rubber stamp that I've had for a long time. I don't even know if I've used it or I was really good at cleaning it up. But I think we're going to stamp that on the envelope. And that's going to look really cool after we get some color added on here. So I'm going to start with this. I've got the Dusty Concord in the Distress ink, but not in the Distress Oxide. I happen to have the re-inker, but I don't have an ink pad. I must have had a little ink pad for the little cubes when I bought that ink. So I'm trying to decide. I think I just want to kind of add a little bit of color. All over. Because we're going to stamp over it. It's going to get a little bit more layers to it. We could even stamp in gold if I get it dry enough. Of course, it's almost 6 o'clock now. So if you want me to finish this, say finish it tonight. Or if you want to get off here at 6 o'clock, say no, let's get off here. Let me know. All right. I'm just adding color. I'm playing. We're playing. We're seeing what can happen. So now I've got Mermaid Lagoon and Blueprint Sketch. So I'm going to use a little bit of Mermaid Lagoon and come in here and add a little color. I kind of like how this is looking. Okay. Do some over here. I haven't done much mixed media lately, so it feels kind of good to just play. Finish. I'm hurt. Robin says early. Janice says finish. Robin, go take a break. Okay. I think that looks good. So I now think I want some blue. Oh yeah, adding some blue in here. And I think I'm going to get some Tattered Angels and spritz it, which will help all these colors kind of blend into each other. Now, what color Tattered Angels should I get? And denied. Ah, Junkie Joe. All right, what color do I want? I've got denim. Let's do that. This is denim blue. Okay, make sure it's... And it's kind of moving around just a little bit. I know it looks like a mess at the moment. All right, I'm going to get a paper towel. Come here. Because I want a little bit of texture, but I don't want the colors to bleed too much. So I kind of get a cool oxide effect. I think it'll be better because it'll be lighter. Okay, so let's dry this a little bit. So I'm going to raise it up off my desk and use my heat tool a little bit. Hope you feel better, Robin. Couch and sleep. All right, let's see how far I can get on this. I may, instead of using embossing powder, let's see what happens if I stamp it with the paint. Because then I can move a little bit faster. If I do embossing powder, then I have to make sure that this is completely dry. Okay. I think at this point, before I use the stamp, I think I want to cut it in half or in the pieces that I had done for the example. In fact, I may just use those as the template and cut this so that when I go to stamp, I can position the stamp and get most, if not all of it. Let's see how this one looks. I could even cut down some of this because they were pretty close to the same size. Little bit different. In case I want to make it shorter, I may fold in the inside. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. So I'm going to fold the edges over and cut these. Okay. And we'll do this one. That way I'm stamping on the right direction that I want them. Do this one. Okay. Glue it down. Junkie Joe's being cranky. Okay. Whoop, that one got twisted. Don't be doing that. All right, I want to trim off a little bit of the paper that's hanging out, but try not to cut the bottom of the envelope. Okay, I did good. I think this one's the same way. I just want a little bit, just a tiny, tiny bit. Okay, I think I cut the envelope. No, I didn't. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is basically using this as my gauge, my guide, is go in here and lay this on the paper cutter, pretty close to the same layout. Cut it. So there is one set. And if I do this the same, I can swap these around with each other. Because I think, oh, I may just turn it. Oh, that's what I did wrong. Oh, well. I should have done both sides for my thinking, but that's okay. I should have cut this one differently. Oh, well. We're just going to go with it. We're going to just go with it and be happy about it. So they're going to both go in the same direction when we put them in the journal. Does that make sense? So let me try something first. We got a mess going on here. I'm going to ink this stamp and see if it shows up in the black ink. Might help if I don't have a piece of paper in the way. Okay, so if I kind of stamp this, I'd have to give it a little bit more pressure than what I did. So I think I'm going to try. I hate to ruin it, right? But that's what it's all about, is experimenting. Okay, so I'm going to squeeze off the paint. Where's my little rag? Okay, trying to get the paint off. Ready? And I need some gold paint. And I may just kind of do this as a, we'll just experiment. Let's see here. I'm going to have to move fast. And I'm pretty sure that I can't use this on the whole image. So I'm going to try to just add a little bit and see how that looks. And do another layer. I don't know if y'all can even see it. Can you see it? Now I'm thinking that I should have done the black ink. You know what? I'm going to do both. Okay. So there is the gold. So I'm going to do the gold again on this piece. I'm going to use the black on that one. and see which one I like better. I have to hurry, get this painted on. Okay, let's start here. Okay, I'm almost done. All right, so that kind of gives it a nice color. Let's clean my stamp off so we can use it with regular. Yeah, do both, exactly. All right, clean the paint off of the stamp. Okay. There we go. Got that off. Ow! I'm being attacked. My things all around. All right, that goes in here. That goes there. Now let's get this piece. Let's get the black ink out. I'm going to add... I just bought new re-inkers, because I'd emptied the others. So just adding some ink. See it soaking down into the ink pad. All right, and then I'm going to really work on this. I'm going to rotate this sideways so I can line it up with the edge. And then I'm going to press hard. Okay. There we go. It didn't get up here, but that's okay. I kind of like it. It's just a subtle pattern. Now let's do that again. So what I should have done was cut the second envelope at a different diagonal. And then that would have given me the diagonals going in the other direction. Oh yeah, look at that. I've used this stamp that I've had forever. Okay, where'd the other one go? Where'd it go? Where'd the other one with paint on it go? Did I? Okay, that's just weird. Where did it go? I don't believe I just lost that. Seriously? I put it up here to dry. I thought I did anyway. What'd you do with it? Okay. I don't know where it went. It's not stuck on there. It didn't get put in there. All right, well, we'll just move forward. I may have to make another one, or I'll find it here in a minute. So my thought was, you have two different sizes. So one here and one here. And then this is a card that's going to go here. I think we're going to hold off. Yeah, look under the paint plate. Yeah, it's not there. That's the weirdest thing. It's just gone. Did I put it? It's not in the drawer. I don't know. That's just weird. Is it on the... I don't know. It just kind of... It's just gone. And when I get off here, I'll find it. I'll be like, oh, that makes sense why that was there. Oh, well. because they're not stuck together. So this one was going to go here. This one's going to go here with, and I'm kind of thinking maybe it's a blessing that I did lose one, because I'm kind of thinking I want to make some changes to the way this is going together. Because this one would go over here. I don't know where it went. I don't think so. Oh, you know what? Nope, that's the rag I was using to clean the stamp. That's just wild. It's just gone. I don't know what happened. It's not in the bin. It's not beside the bin. It's not on the floor. I don't know what happened. All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to stop here at this point. I'm going to add a little distressing just so you can see the difference that it makes. And I think what I'll do is I will recreate, but I think I may make some changes on the second one. Because the gold paint is okay. It doesn't really show up. Maybe I'm sitting on it. Did I stick it in my pocket? It's not in my pocket. Not sitting on it. It kills me. It kills me. I don't know how this happens. All right, so my thought was this is going to go here. And I have one of Norella's images that I was thinking of putting in there. I may add like a doily or something else to that. And then if this one was over here like that. So I'm trying to decide if I should have cut it to go the other direction. And then this one would go here like that. See? That's why I'm thinking of doing a different one. Because I want this to go that way. Does that make sense now? I'm not sitting on it. I don't know where it went. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to just call it quits because that's just bizarre that it disappeared. And I'm going to get another envelope and decorate it a little bit differently so that I have a different color scheme. And that way when I put them down, they'll look different, more so than the gold paint. All right, let's pick a winner. This crazy, chaotic live stream of the 200 junk bucks. I lost the other gold envelope piece. It's just gone. I don't get it. It's just gone. It's not here. It's not on me. It's not under my sewing lamb. It's not on the sewing machine. It should have been right here, but it's just the weirdest thing. It's completely gone. I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, when I find the rest, yeah. When I find it, I'll find it. That's just wild. I don't know what I did with it. It's not under the mat. It wasn't attached to the... All right, let's pick the 200 junk buck winner. This is insane. Oh yeah, my ink pad. It may be stuck. There it is. I found it. It was stuck to the ink pad. Very, very smart. I still think I want to change this because this isn't what I wanted. I want this is what I want. So, and I want this one to go that direction. So if I make a different envelope, then I can swap them because I would cut it in the other direction. That's what I think I'm going to do. It was under the ink pad. Yep, that's where it was. It was under the ink pad. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I've changed my mind, which is fine. You know, we can try something. If we don't like it, it's no big deal. I may use this someplace else. But for this application, I really want this pocket going in that direction and this pocket going in this direction. So I'm going to remake those. And I think now you know the gist of it. I'm just going to glue those down, and then I've got some embellishments here that I probably will put down. I have this guy, and I don't know if I want to put him on one side or if I want to make maybe another, like a mini journal that he would go on top of. Yay, I found it. All right, so this is where we're at. I think, I don't know, I could cover that up. But I think I really want to remake what would be in these two corners. And it can be different. And I think that would help me. I could do this, I guess, on this one. Just cover that all up. I guess I could just cover it up and use it as it is, but I wanted to do differently. Yes, I know, Margie. Just cover the backs of them. Yes, that's what I'm coming to the conclusion of. All right, I'm going to get off here. I'm getting slap happy. But I think I'm going to just cover these up with something else so that it contrasts a little bit differently. And then I'm going to decorate them with some pieces, something like this. I don't know. I've got some other of these tear off notepads. Maybe I'll do a different one, but I think I like that color better. So, alrighty, let's pick a winner. I'm going to cover the backs. I was just going to redo a new one, but okay, fine. Just because it was your idea, cover the back. All right, the winner of 200 junk bucks is da-da-da-da, Janice Brammer. Congratulations. Alrighty, so we at least did get this portion finished. So let me close this over. So I made the topper that this piece, which we can test, is going to go into the top here, like so. And it's going to be a tight fit, but it's going to fit in there, okay, on my page. So when I put it, let me get one of my doodads. All right, so when I put this on top of my base page, that's what we'll see, okay? And then this comes out, and then we had a pocket here, which is an envelope that had a pocket there, and get a hold of this, a pocket here, which has a pocket there. We're obsessed with pockets today. And then I just put this image on the back, and this fits down in here. Now I gotta make sure that the fluff stays out. Stay outside, okay? And then I decorated the front of here, which I think this looks pretty good. And then once I'm done, I'll have these pieces inside here decorated. So I'm gonna put this one right here. I think this guy's gonna go up there. And I may put something else down here on the bottom. Hold on, well, we'll see. Alrighty. Oh, so you're saying, no, because I cut them all the same. So I'll just have to decorate the backs of two of them. And then that way it'll give me what I'm looking for. I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Or no, maybe not. We'll see. We'll figure it out. I'll get it done. I'll get it. Lots and lots of pockets. Here a pocket, there a pocket, everywhere a pocket. And you get a pocket, and you get a pocket. Alrighty, we're going to continue on next week. I'll get out the next page set. I'll probably have finished this one, and I'll just kind of describe it to you guys and gals. I hope you liked what we did today, kind of playing around with different things and trying stuff. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's okay. We're going to figure out a way to get on with our life, right? Again, I hope you enjoyed today. I hope you had fun. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I highly suggest get in your little space, wherever it may be, and create something. A tiny, tiny card, an artist trading card, a 1-inch piece of art, something. Whether or not you feel like it, just do something. And who knows, maybe it'll spark and you'll continue on making something else. And don't worry about, is there a purpose for? Why am I making this? What am I going to do with it when I'm done? Just do it. Just do it to get that joy of creating out of you. All right, do something kind this week for somebody else and make them smile or just make their day that much brighter. Y'all have an amazing week, and thank you so much for being here. Hey, do me a big, big favor. Come back after this live is over and leave a comment down below, because that interaction helps my videos be seen by others. And I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the YouTube community, for your donations, for your love, and your thumbs up. Take care, everybody. Lots of love to you. Bye.